Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. So we're back here again. As you can see, there is a snowstorm out here today. And let's go now. Let's try to get the Skandic running for tomorrow. Because we got some nice new powder. Powder Skandic over there is running good still. So let's go in here now and deal with this harness. Snow's pretty deep. Hey guys, so welcome back to the channel here. Just want to show you what it was like outside. You can see some of the snow came in through. I do need to fix the door seal. Yeah, back to the channel again. It's been a while since I've made a video. I think it's been probably, I don't know, 3-4 months. At the beginning of this year, I injured my back. Couldn't walk for like 2 months basically. And just getting back at it here again now. So expect a bunch of new videos. I'm actually able to stand up, move around again. I am not as beat up in terms of my back. But yeah guys, so as you can see, we got lots of new snow on the go. I took this out a while ago, maybe 3-4 weeks ago for a run, and she died on me. So we're going to be digging into this thing, and I'll get you guys caught up with the other videos I got pre-made here, and we'll crack on, we'll clean the carbs, and get back on the go here on the channel. Alright, let's do this. Money is back. Today we're going to be working on the 377, which right now is a dead sled. I'm not sure if you're following the channel, but if you go back a few months ago in one of my videos, you'll see this is Skandic. I picked it up off a 90-year-old man, and he was a mechanic, and he just got to the point that he could no longer drive it. It wasn't practical for him. And she was running like a top, absolutely running excellent. But so I just assumed that it didn't really need any maintenance because of how good it was running, because as you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it type of thing. And the Skandic was always parked inside. But anyways, fast forward, I took her out on our first long trip there maybe a week or two ago, and on the way back she died. She basically got really hot on the right hand cylinder. It got really hot, and she it was actually really bizarre how I got it back, because I took it up by the cabin, and on the way back, basically the Skandic kept dying, grabbing all of her power, dying, grabbing all of her power, and I made it back literally in front of the cabin. I'm not sure how that worked out, but she died right next to the trailer, and I couldn't start her again. Now I know that if you're on a video and watching this, but if you come out in my garage here at the moment, all I smell is fuel, and I know 100% that it's coming from this sled. So I'll show you underneath the bonnet. She's a bit dirty from when I had her out. I'm just gonna pop off this hood in 1 second here. So the Skandic definitely needs a wash, that's for sure. But that right cylinder over here, it was basically overheating. So what I'm planning on doing, this actually has the factory fuel injection. I've never trusted them in the past. I've always mixed the fuel and gas. So what you'll see me do, I'm going to be pulling the carbs off. I'm going to be cleaning them, inspecting them. I'm going to check the compression when my father stops up with my compression tester. Make sure that that right cylinder didn't lose any PSI or burn up the piston rings. But one thing I don't like about the fuel injection is that if that little fuel injection pump goes or it doesn't mix properly, then you're going to blow your engine. So I'm going to be deleting it, and I'm going to be cleaning the carbs. I'm going to be running all new fuel lines, and then we'll see if we can get this thing being half reliable again. Alright, now you'll notice there's no key in it. The ignition switch, I noticed, is a bit loose, so I left it in the on position and I just took the key out. But anyways, let's just see if she starts. I don't think it's going to, because everything smells like fuel up here. Yeah, she normally goes first pull. So as you can see, prior to me taking her on that long run, first pull, second pull, shot a primer, and she was good. So we know we definitely got some issues going on. So we're down here at the side of the sled, just so you guys see, we have our main input for the pump, a little oil injection. This is connected to the throttle. So basically, if I pull the throttle over right here, you can see it opens up, or it adjusts on that pump. So all we have basically is oil mixing, and then say for example that line or that line gets blocked or it gets cracked or it doesn't work for whatever reason, then you're literally not feeding oil into one cylinder. Same with this one. If this one, something happens here, say it doesn't properly put out, gets a blockage here, you're literally going to starve the engine of oil. So I'm literally just going to disconnect everything, take this bottle out of the way, don't want it anymore. This fuel pump, I'll probably leave the housing connected, but the lines are going off, and I'm going to get rid of this throttle, additional throttle cable, and she's just going to be old school. Even right now, sitting right here, all I smell is pure fuel. Like the Skadoos, it really stinks out here. It smells like gas. Alright guys, let's go ahead and I'm going to pull the plugs, and then we're going to start to take this apart. It's just here's the oil that normally goes into the pump, and then that's a low level switch is all this is. Doesn't really matter. If it triggers anything, I will just jump it or bypass it. If it triggers like a dash light, no big deal. So I'm just gonna get this out of the way here now. Get this cable out of the way, get that off down below, and then that's kind of it really. And then I'm just gonna start following the fuel lines and get the carbs off and deal with that big mess. Get this ugly old bracket out of the way too. Okay, this connector right here was plugged in down here. I'm gonna have to disconnect a few. This is all shagged. Just took off this little oil injection pump here. It's the first time I've actually looked at one of these units. I thought it just on bolts, but you actually have to take that whole cover off. Never knew. But if you look on the back side, it has a nut here. So even if I was to get those everything free, that nut still needs to come off, of course. So it's easier just to take that housing off. But it's kind of cool. I just want to show you guys how it looks. I've never actually seen one of these before. So you can see down here on the recoil, we actually have like the spline piece that spins when the engine's running, and that's this metal part right here slides in there, and then you have a gear effect. That gear is what drives this pump, which is what's supposed to be putting oil down in the cylinder. But as you can see, there's a lot of stuff that can potentially go wrong, so I just kind of want to eliminate it. Some people like those pumps and they love them. I don't. I'm not a fan. I never really was, so my sled is not going to have one of them on it. It's just going to have run premix. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I got a quick little bit of time here today, so we're going to go a quick dirty carb clean. Don't expect it to be spectacular, but we will do the best we can with a limited amount of time. So let's go ahead, tear the carbs down. I got this one over here. I'm just going to show you this one because the other one, the right carb, which I kept on the right side, it's going to be the exact same procedure. So let's go ahead, crack this loose, Phillips on the bottom. And break the bowl loose. I picked up some carb cleaner so we can actually clean these half properly. But ultimately, I want to get at some other projects, so we're going to get this carb done here. Alright, those two screws. Okay, and then the one back here. It's not much to clean in carbs. I got a little solution for my ultrasonic cleaner, so we'll get that up and ripping. Alright, so when you take this bowl off, you're going to see a couple things. This is the inside here. Make sure you guys can see that. Here's the inside. You can see the floats. It's a little bit dirty. Here's the orientation. You can see the needles pointing inwards and around the bottom side. Here's my little gasket. Throw that out of the way. So let's strip this down half quick. So we got the bowl, the floats. I'm just gonna lay that here for now. This pin, I use a automatic center punch to knock those out. If you don't have that, just one of these jobbies. Just use a screwdriver and just like a few taps. But I like to have one of these. It's only like $5 or maybe $3 or something. Okay, so that went flying. Alright, almost got that out. This one is a little stiff for some reason. Normally they're not that stiff. But we got our float, or the float arm I should call it. Yeah, see that? Normally you shouldn't have this problem. It looks like this one's stiff for some reason. Give it a little love tap. There you go, got the pin out. You can see this is a little clip that holds your needle in. Very careful not to make this go flying. I've done that before in the past. I've had it fly across the garage and I've lost it. Not on this car, but on a previous sled. So let's see if we can get this out. Grab a little smaller screwdriver. Oh, it's already fallen off. Perfect. And here's our little float. Take that out. Okay, so now we have our main port. This is where the main fuel line comes in. If you follow the main fuel, it comes down here, makes a turn, goes out through here. This is what cuts it off, as you can see with the little float assembly that's normally sitting here. So I'm going to take this off. Be careful of the two gaskets. If you got a leak on one of these gaskets, you'll have fuel flooding your bowl. And I'm going to take off this jet rope. This is still loose. I've had this apart recently. Good thing I'm taking it apart again. I wasn't happy with the cleaning, so I'm going to do it again. This is your main jet. That little orifice. That's your little pilot jet in there. You can take this out if you want. You have to, what I like to do is just put that back in a little bit, all the way, so you don't mess the threads up, and push down on it. Don't mind the crows that hang out here. Or you can just push this down with something soft, like a little bit of brass and a couple little nudges. It'll come out right through here. I cleaned this not that long ago, so I'm literally going to just leave this one in. I'm going to leave this in, blow it all out with air. I'll take this one out. Because this has gasket material, this is going in my ultrasonic cleaner. The crows and birds, blue jays, they're gone mad here today. I threw out a few peanuts for them. And as you can hear them in the background probably, they are gone mad. For sizes, I'm using 11/32 right here and just taking this off. I'm going to be careful not to destroy these O-rings or these seals. Okay, got that there. And now we pretty much got the carb stripped down as far as it really needs. Okay guys, so 5 minutes later, or maybe 6-7 minutes, we got both carbs cleaned down. I'm going to be filling up my ultrasonic cleaner. I'm going to try out this mega mean green, is what it is, mean green. Super cleaner, or degreaser. Mix that in with a bit of water. And we'll see if we can get these carbs up and half decent again. I normally used to use like a pine sol. But I found sometimes it kind of interacts with the brass a bit on some of the fittings. So I'm going to try this out, see if it's a little less corrosive. And we'll go from there. Okay, a little bit of that. Okay guys, let's see what we got here. Pre-carb clean anyways. I'm going to still use air bottle where I can. So we got the float. carb body. Still a little soiled, but it's not too bad. Let's see how the bowl looks. That's how the bowl looks, just after a couple little dunks. Definitely cleaner, not spotless. The other float. And then we have all the parts. Alright, so let's get this all ready and we'll stick this one back together. And then we'll crack on from there. Okay guys, I got the carb kind of back together. Slowly getting it done. Relatively clean here now. It's a little bit dusty when it dries off, but it's no big deal. So just gotta put on this little cap. Put that in the main jet. And that's pretty much it really. Put the bowl gasket on. Put the bowl back underneath her. With those little floats. Here they are. And we have the carbs basically clean as fast as that. Alright, let's fast forward now, get the carbs back together, and we'll worry about putting it back on the sled. Okay guys, so I got some fuel lines ran last day. You can see here's the main line. Connects down to the pump. From the pump I got the main inputs, one on each side. I got to trim them because they're a bit too long. But the carbs are back in, so I'm going to trim these off, hook up the hose, re-hook up the primer line, which is just one for the incoming on the plunger. And I'll be with you guys now in a moment, and we will be attempting to start this now shortly. But also I need to drain the tank, because now I've deleted the oil injection, so I need to mix the oil and the fuel, because she's a two-stroke engine. So yeah, beautiful day out there. It's nice and sunny. We will see if we can get this up and running here now shortly, and then I can get this out of the garage, poke her outside, because we're getting into spring now, and this is kind of a big sled. Okay guys, I just want to show the fuel lines in case it helps somebody out. So, and in relation to the primer as well. So you have your main line coming in, comes down here, goes into your fuel pump. Coming off the main line, we have the in-fuel in for your primer. You can see right here, it's on the angled one. The other one here is the other side of the primer, comes out here to a T. And then one side of the primer goes down here. The other side of the primer goes to the other carb. So that's what throws the extra fuel in to help start your engine. Coming out of the fuel pump, we have one line coming up here. You can see it goes right into the carb right here. And the other line that's over on that side, I got it snaked up going over and down into the carb for the fuel in on that side. Some of these other ones that you're just seeing like dangling here, they're just overflow for the carb. So all I have to do now, put these back in place. I left the orientation. It's always important to make sure you know how these go back down, because if you put it in 180 out, you will have your throttle stick open. So let me just have a look at these here now. Yeah, so you can see that big screw down there inside that carb? That's what adjusts your idle. The farther you push that in, the farther it pushes on this, which pushes your handle up essentially, or your throttle slide up. So these can be a bit funny to get in. You kind of just gotta play with it until it wants to slot down like that, see? And then just screw it on, make sure it goes down all the way. If not, when you try to start it, the throttle will be kind of opened and the skidoo might try to take off on you. So I'm going to go ahead now, just button up these throttles, and I'm going to try to figure out the easiest way to drain this tank, because there's pure gas in there at the moment, and where I have no oil injection. Of course, I need to mix it for a two-stroke. So that's my next project here now. I'll see you guys in a moment. I'm going to go ahead and drain the tank, throw some spark plugs in, button her up, and then we're going to see if she starts. Hopefully she does. We will find out.